Welcome to the Polaris Express, a survival game led by the stars in the sky. The player begins at the intro screen, where they can choose their difficulty, read the instructions, read about the game, and finally, play the game. Before you begin, additional information is shared to provide further instructions and context of how the game works. Let's play. When in the game, the start screen displays a basic tutorial and gives the player time before facing obstacles. The Enter key is pressed to begin the game. The player moves around using WASD or the arrow keys and views their environment. The player also uses their mouse to view their surroundings, a cave. Additionally, they practice swinging their sword using their mouse. The Tab key is pressed to show how a player can pause the game in order to restart, retrieve instructions, go to credits, or simply take a break and continue after. The player notices the teleportation spot that will take them out of the cave and into the game. The player walks through the spot and lands in a large terrain filled with enemies. Notice how each enemy has a health bar above its head. They are trying to deteriorate your health, and you can deteriorate theirs in the process using your sword, which is activated by left-clicking your mouse. You can also double-tap any of the directional keys to do a little dodge, where it makes the player step away from an enemy depending on the direction key you are pushing. The top bar displays the things you can use to craft weapons and food, and the bottom bar will display the completed and crafted weapons and food once done. The user presses E to open the crafting menu. Numbers become linked to the crafting recipes and should highlight each one. Users can hit Enter in order to consume items from inventory and craft them into something new. There are potions available in the crafting menu as well: Strength, Invincibility, and Light. Now, we are going to try to collect stars in order to get to the winning fog gate at the end. There are 3 stars in each level. As you collect the first 2 stars, they will guide you towards the fog gate, and the third one will finally open it. However, we died because we did not have enough food and did not craft any. We have decided to try again, and we're brought to a new window to start. In sake of time, we are skipping past the cave and fighting off enemies and going straight towards our successful finding of 3 stars. We found the first one on the side of a mountain in the first level, and it goes up in the sky and goes towards the fog gate. We are looking for the second one in the level, and we find it on the mountain again. We must climb up this mountain and get the star in order to go through the fog gate and go to the next level. And we successfully have gotten it. As you can see, our 2 stars are lining up in the sky. Now is our quest for the third and final star. We must look around the terrain in order to find the third and final star. And thankfully, it was very close to us, and we found it. The 3 stars line up and direct us towards the open fog gates, which we will go through and go towards the next level, which you can see a drastic change in the terrain as we go towards a more desert-like area. We approach the open fog gate. We can collect wheat and other things to craft food and weapons later on, so we do not die before we reach our final fog gate, which will lead us to success. Thankfully, we've collected enough to craft bread, which will appear in our inventory down below and can be eaten later on. Here you can see the change in terrain and the visualization of the fog gates. You'll be able to see the more desert-like ground, and in this section you also have to collect 3 stars in order to go through the next fog gate, which we will skip over in the sake of time. 3 stars have been collected and found in the second level, which means we can go on to our third and final level through these fog gates, which is a more rocky and dark terrain, not similar to our other 2. We found 3 stars here as well, which leads us to the final fog gates. Because we are victorious, they open for us, and it leads to the winning menu, which includes the credits and allows us to play again if we wish. Thank you for playing the Polaris Express, and I hope you enjoyed our tutorial.